You think a world with superheroes is a dream come true? Think again. What if I told you that when you have superpowers, it's not always as fun as it looks in the movies? It's exhausting. You still can't extinguish that dream because many people still think, if I don't have superpowers, then I just need to live in a world with superheroes. Because one day, who knows, maybe I'll get a superpower dropped from the sky. Spider-Man was bitten by a spider and turned into Spider-Man. Electro was electrocuted and turned into Electro. Batman wasn't bitten by a bat. His parents were simply stabbed by a villain. And he said,
I'm Batman.
Okay, I'll choose the bat to be the Dark Knight and bring fear to those who resemble the one who hurt my parents. Thinking about Batman, it doesn't make sense.
I'm Batman.
Basically, we really like living in a society with superheroes. Oh, meeting superheroes is awesome, isn't it?
Wait, stay and meet the superheroes.
Stop!
The unfortunate thing is that in a world with superheroes, you will have an incredibly terrible and miserable life. Why? In superhero movies, you know you're not the main character. You're not a supporting character. You're just an extra. But not the kind of extra who screams and runs when aliens attack the city on TV. You see, when there's fire and explosions everywhere, you're the ones lying under the rubble. You're the numbers that read. 1,000 people died when aliens attacked Earth. It's terrible. That's the topic of today's video. After watching this, I guarantee you won't want to live in a world with superheroes anymore. The first reason why living in a world with superheroes is terrible, you can't live in that world. Simply put, you won't be able to make enough money to live peacefully in that world. There's no such thing as everyone lives well in society will automatically improve. Whether you live well or not, aliens will still come. If not aliens, then forces from other dimensions. You're sitting at home, and suddenly your house becomes a pile of rubble because someone just stepped out of a space-time hole somewhere. You can't do anything about it. You can't even complain to them because it takes the Avengers an hour and a half in the movie, which means months in real life to drive them away. Can you run up to Iron Man and ask, "Can you rebuild my house for me?" At that moment, the whole group of heroes will look at you like you're crazy.
Avengers! Assemble.
In that world, your house, no matter how many generations your family saved up for it, if you live in the same city as superheroes, 99% chance your house will collapse. And it's not just once a month or once a year, it's every week. Because there will definitely be fights happening. Even superhero brothers and sisters fighting each other is exhausting. There's only one way you can live peacefully: buy insurance. At that point, all contracts in the world will be insured at an astronomical cost, especially insurance contracts in the city. You lose. Think about it. You work your whole life. You earn a certain amount of money. You buy an apartment. And the next day, the apartment is gone, a pile of rubble. There's only one thriving profession in a superhero world: rubble removal. You've definitely seen it in movies. Nothing but rubble. Honestly, rubble is the most abundant thing in superhero movies. That's the first reason why you can't live in a superhero society. No money. The second reason is that you won't be able to trust anyone, and no one will dare to trust you or anyone else. Because, you know, in the world of superheroes, people being mind-controlled happens all the time. Honestly, we can't know. Suddenly, one day you're going to work as usual. You just blink, open your eyes, and you find yourself in bed with a model without a stitch of clothing. At that point, no matter what you say, no one will believe you. Even people with special abilities, those who are just a little bit better than others, their friends will say, "Oh, so you're really Captain America, aren't you? I see you're much stronger than me. This guy is Captain America. If you don't pay me, I'll tell everyone you're Captain America, and you won't be able to live, understand? If you happen to be a little smart, oh, you're Batman, aren't you? I see your face, and I know immediately. This guy must be Batman."
I'm Batman.
Even if you just happen to be a little charming or speak wonderfully, people will say, "Oh, so you're no Cap, bro. I saw you and I knew it right away. Your face, yes, I remember clearly. I'll subscribe to No Cap Bro's videos because, honestly, thanks to No Cap Bro, I have videos to watch every week. What I mean to say here is very clear. A society with superheroes who can change people's minds, change their appearance, is an incredibly chaotic society. Because you can't know who is who, and you won't be able to trust anyone. And a society without trust will collapse. That's for sure. Next, and this is what I'm absolutely sure of, religions will be completely chaotic. As you know, religion is based on faith in people who left this mortal world thousands of years ago. Whether they existed or not, we don't really know. Thor is the god of thunder in Norse mythology, and he's actually in America. So how much chaos do you think that will cause for religions? Try to imagine. In Norse mythology, Thor is the son of Odin. And in the past, Norse mythology was once a religion until Christianity appeared. Now, ordinary people will think, we worship these people? We don't know if they exist, but now I clearly see a man who is the god of thunder. He lives in America. I'm converting to Thor's religion. I'm following Thor. Anyone who messes with Thor better watch out. Understand. This isn't something to mess with, spiritually speaking. At that point, you'll know how much of a crisis it is. The problem is not just one religion like Thor. There will be Spider-Manism, Iron Man-ism, Captain America-ism. Because almost all these superheroes have a characteristic that only people in religions like Christianity or Buddhism have achieved: resurrection. Jesus was crucified on the cross on Friday, died, and resurrected on Sunday. That's why it's called Sunday. So, try to count how many times the superheroes in the Avengers universe have come back from the dead. How many times? On one hand, an entire religion only has one person who achieved that. But now, you see with your own eyes, a whole Avengers team in America. If someone dies, they do everything to bring that person back from the dead. So that proves that they have powers just like gods. And clearly, they are gods. Flying into space, superhuman strength, controlling lightning, all kinds of things. Do you think they are gods? How many religions will emerge? X-Menism, Stormism, Wolverineism, all kinds of religions. At that point, all the followers of those religions will definitely fight each other. Just imagine, if someone shares a picture of Wolverine online, I guarantee someone will jump in and say, hey, you're not allowed to do that. Understand. You've blasphemed my religion, my Wolverine religion. You don't mess with spiritual matters. Understand. Normally, it's already chaotic enough. Now, if that happens, how chaotic do you think the world will be? How religiously tense will it be? Am I right or wrong? Just comment below, because this is a very thought-provoking issue. Well, you ponder. I'll move on to the next part. This is even more terrifying. Extremely dangerous. You watch superhero movies and you'll think, superheroes are good at everything. All for humanity, right? That's what you think. Do you know the phrase power corrupts? Meaning anyone in a position of power will almost certainly degenerate and become corrupt. You don't need to look far. Look at some security guards, doormen, parking attendants. These are people with only a little bit of power. But try to go into their workplace, and you'll see how arrogant they are. That's because they know they have the power to kick you out to prevent you from entering the company to do what you want. That's just a little bit of power, and it makes people degenerate. Have you seen Kim Jong-un in North Korea? He's just a normal person, no superpowers whatsoever. Do you see how much the North Korean people suffer? It's not by chance that North Koreans try every way to escape North Korea. It's simply power. Power makes people degenerate and corrupt. And the boys showed us that very clearly. In that world, superheroes look very decent and kind on the outside, helping people in every way. But behind that are dark, terrifying truths. Only when you are a victim of those superheroes, whether by accident or intentionally, will you understand how terrible and dastardly those with power are. If you haven't watched The Boys, go watch it. I dare guarantee that you will never wish to live in a world with superheroes, because when you're in a world with superheroes, you don't know when you'll become a victim. And if you're a victim of a villain, that's one thing. If you're a victim of the superhero themselves, then forget it. There's no justice for you. Because between the word of a normal person and a superhero, who will people believe? When you watch The Boys, you'll see everything I just said is frighteningly true. That's human psychology. When people have power in their hands, they will do everything to enjoy that power. Think about it. I am incredibly strong. I am incredibly superhuman. Why should I endure being cursed and looked down upon by people in the same company, in the same school as me, just because I'm a four-eyed nerd? When in reality, I'm Spider-Man? No, that won't happen. When you have ability, power, strength, you will change a lot. And that's also partly why I feel lucky that our world doesn't have superpowers like that. When I was little, I was just like you. I always thought that one day I wished I had superpowers to solve the problems of my family, of society, of this world. And until one day I realized that the person who can change my life is me. You are the change you are waiting for. You already have that superpower. That is willpower, and the most important one for all of us. And that is one of the messages I want to send to you. The next message is, please subscribe to this amazing video. Because it's not just a video about superpowers, but I also delivered a very meaningful message to you. You can completely do anything to change your life, just by being yourself, as long as you want to. And those are messages truly worthy of a subscribe. It's time to say goodbye. See you next time, superheroes.